welcome to podcast episode 171 of the Forum Thread Podcast. And my name is Zach. And tonight I have Wubwig.
Hello.
Tgjan Lee.
Hello.
And always our beautiful Chaos Mana.
Wise.
So, we, basically blame Tgjan if we're late. Anytime we're late, it's because of Tgjan.
I was late
He is
because...
such a prima donna.
Really, Zach? Are you really gonna play this fucking card on me?
I'm gonna admit, I was late because Denver is apparently rebuilding itself as we speak.
Oh, marvelous.
What is it, somebody's playing Sims?
I said, what deity is playing SimCity right now?
That's awesome.
Everything's under fucking construction. I don't know what the fuck happened.
So I finally have discovered the divine gift that is Pokemon Go.
Nice.
Like, I've known about it, but I haven't, got hardcore into it. And now
You're hooked?
It's fantastic.
It's your way of life.
It's killing my fucking phone. I can play for a half hour before my phone is at 33%. And I'm like, fuck, I need my phone for other things. So I keep stealing my coworker's charger at work, and I don't really want to say why. I'm like, hey, can I borrow your charger again? He's like, whoa, what happened to your phone, man? I'm like, I don't know. I guess the batteries are shitty, and I'm just like, I need to play more Pokemon Go.
You can get one of those portable battery packs, you know.
I'm not going to get one of those. Are you kidding me?
I have one of those.
What do you mean? It's not that expensive. It's not a big.
It's
not a big contribution you need to make.
It's well, it's more so that it would be admitting that he has a problem. That's the issue.
Yeah,
it's admitting that Pokemon.
You know, it comes into more uses than Pokemon Go, though. Like in emergency, or just to keep your battery life lasting longer than that.
Nah, it puts a good a good restriction on me too. It makes me not overplay it.
Yeah, I suppose.
It's probably good.
It's a healthy condition.
Are the servers back up, by the way?
Yeah.
I
got on slightly, but Japan is killing us right now.
I was so
Japan's.
Happy.
I can't believe it wasn't launched in Japan first.
Well, they did it because they knew it was going to blow up the servers.
How did we get so lucky?
Because
they knew it would blow up the servers.
Well, no, that is interesting. Like, surely the U.S. in total has more people that would have gotten onto Pokemon Go.
Yeah,
so
we have a better stress
why
test
did we
environment.
get such a high priority in the queue? Because they started with Australia because there's not as many user base that
it's
would
a beta
use
test
Pokemon Go in Australia. But then why were we so high in the queue? Why not go to Japan, especially since it's the origin of Pokemon anyway?
Because Merca? Possibly?
I guess.
I mean, I'm just going to throw that out there. Probably just Merca. I don't know. I mean, they wanted to... It probably has to do with...
I think it's a stress test environment situation. I honestly think it's that. Because, we have a very large range of services when it comes to, our infrastructure. And our geography is very diverse as well, and we have a shit ton of people, not as much as certain places like China and India and stuff like that, but we still have loads of people, way more than Japan, I believe. So it would just be the best place to start stress testing your servers to see how many servers you need and what you can do to bolster their strengths and that kind of thing.
All right, does anybody know... Oh, so Xbox in England has a different, codec to it, so you can't play a game that you got in America.
Region locking, yeah.
In a regional, yeah. Is it the same thing for phones and stuff like that?
I don't think so, but I think they're tied to carriers, and carriers are region specific. So if you have a phone, it's a T-Mobile phone, you have to go and get it transferred over to another carrier if you go somewhere else. But there's no T-Mobile.
I mean, I'm just thinking as far as app development and stuff like that.
Oh,
That's probably not a fucking thing. I don't even know why I asked that question. That's not a thing.
I mean, Nintendo is making a deal monetarily with McDonald's so it can make more money because it's making McDonald's Pokestops, but it's not going to be the same thing. I'm not ignoring your news. You're just 30 seconds behind me, Luke. Anyway.
Speaking of Japan, though, before we get too far away.
Sure.
All right. Do you have anything else to say about Pokemon, Zach? Because I have a rabbit hole that we're going to go down in one moment.
Wonderful. Before we
Are we going to keep talking about Pokemon?
Nope.
We're we're going to talk about Pokemon very briefly. I think other companies like Starbucks, just basically huge franchises, are going to, Denny's, IHOP, that kind of thing, and vice versa across the world. I have a few
questions.
Right?
You guys are all experts at this game now, right?
Not really. I've just done a lot of research because my new phone hasn't come in
shut
yet.
up. Other people.
I'm level 12.
Now, how do I get stronger? Like, do I just keep catching them and then turning them into candy and then feeding them to the other ones?
Yeah.
Or do I hatch eggs? Is that where I get the strongest?
Yeah, it's combining them upwards.
Here's the thing. Here's the biggest thing is that Pokemon you catch typically you become higher level. Higher your level is. So, like, if you're level 12, you'll be catching higher level Pokemon than whatever. So what you want to do is you want to grind the early trainer levels before you start spending candies on Pokemon. Because otherwise you'll just be leveling up trash Pokemon. And
you'll be wasting your candy.
Yeah, it won't be
so I've been wasting all my fucking candy trying to turn my Pidgey into a Pidgeotto.
Well, no, that's good because you get XP from it. So just keep doing that as much as possible and catching higher level Pokemon. And you want to evolve them before you start feeding them candies. Because you don't want a high level, like, Pidgey and just not have a Pidgeotto or a Pidgeot. You know, you want to get it to a Pidgeot and then start feeding it candies.
I see. Yeah. So I've been doing it backwards. I've just been like kind of like, because I just figured out that because I've been so fucking slow with this. I just learned the other day that you spin a Pokestop to get the items.
Yeah.
Like I had for like the first week and a half, I hadn't been collecting I thought I was, but then it shows like your journal and things you've gotten it. I'm like, I've been to like 50 Pokestops, and it says I have 0. And I'm like, what am I doing wrong? Am I supposed to like interact with it more? Because I'm like, I know it like moved a little bit, but I didn't think to swipe it. It's not fucking intuitive in any way. They didn't give you any fucking instructions.
Yeah, there are no instructions for the game. It's just like, figure it out. But,
yeah.
You know.
People figured it out. And now I have like a billion Pokeballs and revives, and I can't go to gyms yet because my strongest Pokemon is at like 200 CP.
Yeah, yeah. Most gyms around 500 to 1,000 CP. You'd get your ass whooped.
Yeah. I don't think I've seen a single one under 1,200.
I've seen a few.
Like, yeah. But like, that's the thing. Like, they say like, oh, you can get stronger by training at gyms. And I went to a gym and I got immediately destroyed. I'm like, well, how do I leave my Pokemon to train? Because I went to a yellow gym because I joined the yellow team.
Right on.
And yeah,
yellow
Team Banana.
Team. Woo!
Woo! Are we all banana?
Yeah, we're all banana.
Chaos's wife,
I picked the right one.
What's her face, is Team Valor.
Valor.
Wait, who's what's her face?
Ray.
Oh, Ray. Yeah, what's her face? Right.
You know, what's her tits?
Yeah. But yeah, like I went there and I was just like, oh, I'll train my Tangela, and it just got destroyed. I'm like, how do I leave it here to train to make it stronger? Because I can't win, obviously. So I'm like, okay, I'm up Shit's Creek. So basically, just grind catching Pokemon.
Yeah,
which brings me back to the thing when I keep trying to do that, and I have 8 billion fucking Zubats, and I'm like,
evolve it.
And now my phone's dead.
You can you can transfer Pokemon to the professor to get more candies, right?
That's where I'm getting my candies from.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. And when you catch them,
I still like the meme image of the freaking the person, like the first Pidgey. You're like, yay! And then like after that, it's just him throwing the Pidgeys into a grinder, like a log grinder, and out popping instead of wood shavings, it's candies.
Yeah.
It is kind of horrifying to think about. Like, I've seen, like, there's been cartoons and comics about this shit, of, like, a crying Zubat going into a blender. It's like, this is brutal stuff.
I think it was Raph on Twitter that I was following, and he goes, I just realized that it says send Pokemon to the professor, not to the processor. That got a lot of
Shout out to dyslexia.
Yep.
Alright. I have a story headline for you from themiro.co.uk. Is a news story. Japan's first virtual reality porn festival cancelled due to overcrowding.
Cancelled.
Due to overcrowding.
What? Japan. Go tell us more.
There's the machines are, there's no way that they can accommodate that many people. So, yep.
The cleanup is ridiculous.
Oh god, that would be the worst. I don't know if they'd be able to use them, but also I'm gonna link the article because the images in this are funny.
Yeah, hook me up with that article so I can give it to chat.
Yeah. So while we're here playing with our Pokemons in America, this is what Japan's up to. Until today when they got Pokemon Go.
Well, yeah, that there's.
See, you guys were like, why do they send it to us? We have more people and more, stops, and it's a larger country. It's like, yeah, but you're underestimating the otaku culture in Japan.
Yeah. And also, it'll give them a chance to socialize, interact with other people. Not to say that all nerds and otakus are socially, awkward, but there's a reason that's a stereotype.
Okay.
It's because it's
I don't think you... I don't... Is that the right word for that? Because that's, people that aren't that culture already.
No, that's weeaboo.
An otaku?
An otaku
Okay, yeah,
is the
mind.
Japanese version of nerd. So get wrecked.
Okay. It's just basically Japanese nerd, yeah.
Any statisticians?
He's asking a genuine question. He doesn't have to get wrecked for that.
I was just
get wrecked, you
silly.
nerd, with your fucking question.
Yeah, stupid nerd. Your question.
Here's the thing, too. You guys are in one room over one of these. If you're gonna get wrecked, you might as well just go over to him and kick him in the chair and flip him over.
Yeah, right.
Don't just say get wrecked.
And then throw him over the balcony.
Wreck him.
Anyway, any statisticians out there, I want you to track two things: birth rates in Japan, and then correlation with when Pokemon Go users come out in Japan. I want to see a positive relationship where birth rates start to go up because people are meeting each other with Pokemon Go. And Japan's problems with the shrinking population is completely fixed due to this one app.
And then
great.
That would
I'll put my best statisticians on this.
That would be a few years of data, though.
Crunch the numbers.
It will be a lot of years of data, but we start now, day one.
Day one.
I think we're going to get data in 7 days.
You think so?
I don't know if births will happen that fast. People are meeting and then births.
No, it's that's the thing. We track people. We say, "Hey, are you pregnant yet?" And they'll say, "Yeah." I'm like, "For Pokemon Go," they'll go, "Yeah."
No,
and that's how we know.
Yeah, that would have to at least be a year plus of time between.
Just 9 months.
The ability to take any viable.
A little bit more.
It's a 1 week clinical trial.
We'll need to see the population of Japan right now, and then track it 9 months from now.
They're gonna have to get another island.
Easier way of doing this. Maybe not birth rates. Maybe we saw that article on love hotels. Love hotel usage versus Pokemon Go usage. If those positively correlate over time, that would just be amazing.
It is really fun to see couples running around in the city right now, and you can tell they're both playing Pokemon. Yeah. That's the thing. I'm walking around with my phone out, and I'm looking around. I'm like, oh, do I look like a giant nerd right now? And I'm like, oh no, there's 17 people right next to me playing Pokemon Go, and we're all catching the same fucking Rattata. It's like, hey, did you get the Rattata? He's like, yeah. I'm like, fuck yeah. Bros.
I blew a child's mind yesterday at work.
Oh God, I was so worried that you weren't gonna finish that sentence.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna. Yeah, I finished that. So, kid's bag got called for the X-ray, right? Because there was this metal tin full of organics, and you're like, "Whoa, that looks weird." And I was like, "Open!" I looked at the bag, and it was had a little pin on it. And I was looking at the pin; it was a Pokeball, and I was like, "Whoa, neat." And I was going through the thing, and it was the tin turned out to be a thing full of Pokemon codes. I'm like, okay, that's fine. And one of his Pokemon codes fell out onto the ground. I go, oh, let me pick up your Tyranitar for you. And the kid's face was like, oh my God, this guy knows what this is. And I'm like, yeah, I do.
I'm a big fucking nerd too.
That's awesome.
Then do you wear a hat at work?
No.
Damn, because then you could have turned it back up. Did a pose, turned your hat backwards.
Gotta catch them all.
GSA agent Wubwave challenges you to a
battle. Oh.
So
if you lose and then you white out in a random hospital somewhere, you don't get to go on your flight.
So that liquid need to be less than 3.4 ounces.
So, Lucas just blew my fucking mind. He tweeted me, you need to get the CP towards the end of the bar before you evolve. It has a CP multiplier.
Yeah, multiplier.
I didn't fucking know this shit. They don't give you a fucking manual.
I've been linking videos to
I'm not looking at them.
Okay, I'll link them to you then. It's all these different helpful tips and tricks And it's like, I've been linking them because we've all been talking about Pokemon Go. We're going to make a Pokemon Go chat here in a bit, and that's going to be where we're going to put things.
Just use Spitfire TX. We have the chat for...
Am I going to watch those mid-podcast, Zach?
I'm sorry?
Am I going to watch those mid-podcast?
No.
Maybe.
Yeah. Zach, and see, Lucas is being proactive, and he's tweeting me, literally, telling me it. Helping me out. He's my instructor.
I'm glad. You know what? Then talk to Lucas all the time. Anytime you have a question, just ask him. Wake him up in the middle of the night.
Up? How you doing?
I wish I knew that before I evolved my Drowsy and Magnemite today, but that's fine.
Yeah. I mean, you still get XP and stuff, so I mean, all in all...
What are you trying to do? Wait, actually, you have to go that far? You can't just collect enough candies? I don't.
In regards to what? What are you talking about?
You can, but it's more efficient to do it that way because reasons of the multiplier.
Yeah, you get more combat power when you evolve because of the bar. So if it's a multi-stage evolution Pokemon, you want to try to get the first stage and then the second stage to the combat level, which is the little arc, to the highest point, because once it hits its final stage, it'll be the highest CP that Pokemon can get.
Also, my
it's
Pidgeotto can only get so strong. I can't have like a fucking ridiculous Pidgeotto.
Yes, you can, but you have to level your Pidgey.
The bow increases with trainer level too. So if you max out on the bow, you just level up as a trainer, and that increases.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of things. But I also want to say hello to Ty Curry in chat. Thanks for showing up, and also used pineapples. I'm sorry your internet is garbage out in the boonies. I get them feels.
Also, get like better pineapples, newer pineapples.
Yeah, new pineapples.
Why do you have used pineapples?
Yeah.
Come on.
Is that like supposed to be like used grenades or just actual pineapples?
Those are even more useless because you can't eat those.
Yeah.
Alright, I'm gonna evolve my Geodude in one moment. Hold on, guys.
God damn
it. It'd be funny if once they add more of the features like trading stuff and battling stuff, if they make it so that you actually have to go back to you have to trade the Geodude evolution to get that one to evolve.
You have to trade Graveler
to
a person, so it trains and evolves into Golem.
Kadabra?
No, it was
it was Machoke and Kadabra. You have to trade them to evolve Alakazam and Machamp. Yes, you do.
I don't remember.
You still have to do that shit?
No, not in Pokemon Go.
Not in Pokemon Go.
That one, it's just feed them candies from their brethren that they've fallen. But
just feed them the brothers. Yeah, that's how Mad Cow spread, by the way.
But who cares, because they're digital Pokemon.
Also, I care.
Sure you do. Mm-hmm. As you put them into the... as
you play the bad guy in all the games, don't you?
Professor? Me?
You make bad guy characters.
No, I don't. I am a saint. I save all the towns and the people unless they try to...
to be fair, like, people like Anderson from Helsing are... saints or paladins of their own right, but it's not exactly the good guys.
Anderson was
right.
You
can be a paladin of a bad guy religion.
Yeah. Listen, Anderson was right all along, and you know it.
He's not wrong. More importantly, I was going to say something about Pokemon Go. Excellent. In regards to Luke helping us out and giving us information. It's the CP's bar is its potential, so if you catch a Pokemon with a low CP, the bar is small, and the Pokemon is garbage, you want a high CP Pokemon and a large potential bar.
No Pokemon is garbage, man.
Yeah, so if you're going to recycle a Pokemon or give it to the professor, and you don't worry about what he has to do to
You're sending him to the farm.
Yeah, sure. Then you could just throw away your garbage Pokemon and keep your good Pokemans. Also... I'm kind of getting sick of all the negative, stigma stuff in regards to Pokemon Go.
What's stigma?
Like people just saying, just complaining about Pokemon Go. Like, why are they doing this? This is stupid,
Guess what?
Right now,
people don't want other people to have fun.
Well, it's not the fun part. The part that I do have an issue with is, I mean, people are dumb regardless. They're always going to be doing dumb stuff. But the people that directly do idiot things like drive and use it at the same time, where we're already banning texting, I think that's almost worse to be trying to use something like that. And the people that aren't even in cars, that are just like walking here, there, without any regards to where the fuck they're going. And they're just doing that just cause. And even like, I don't know too much about the background, but like the person that did that on the news, whether it be a joke or not, it's still like use it.
People have always been dumb.
Like, it's annoying the level, the amount of
pay the fuck
people
attention
that we've heard using it improperly. I'll say.
I got into an argument with a friend at a party Saturday, and she was like, I don't understand why these people are such idiots. This game is stupid. The whole idea of it is stupid. I'm like, it's the same thing if you walking around text messaging or taking a photo or looking at your phone or reading a newspaper or doing whatever the fuck they think. Your head is down. Like, people are gonna do this forever. You can't just fucking blame this thing that are getting people out and having fun and doing this thing. Like, it's another thing to be demonized, and of course it's Pokemon, so of course it's dorky, so it's useless. So it's like
it's also hard to
look at a phone. Does she have Candy Crush on a phone or fucking Clash of Clans?
I didn't check.
Do it. Just rip it out of her hands.
But somebody did reference Candy Crush.
Well, it's also hard to judge it right now, because not only is it the they're still integrating it as an app across the world. It's technically the first iteration. Like, they still are adding. They already have told us features that they're going to add, and then they could still add more beyond that and like update it as an actual app would update. So it's not even what it's gonna be in the future.
Well, it's just my thing. It's like people are just super like making fun of the people who are going out exercising and enjoying themselves.
That people I don't like.
Posting on Facebook.
It's literally just the people that are being dumb.
Yeah, that. Yeah.
Which is a very small group of people. Which is in everything is sensationalism. People are going to jump on those little instances of dumb things, and it validates them for saying something is stupid. So they're like, "See, it's stupid. See, I said this."
Yeah.
It's all about people like wanting to validate their feelings. It's like, oh yeah, I always thought this was dumb, and here's the result of me being right.
You're right. Shit posting about how stupid Pokemon Go is inside or on your phone while you should be doing something else is totally validating everything you're doing. Whereas other people are walking around exploring the city.
It's like people complaining about Ghostbusters. Like, oh, see, I told you it'd be terrible. Even though everybody fucking likes it. But it's just like, it's the same thing about like complaining about something, and then you'd be like, I like the fact that they're all fucking wrong about this one. Which is great.
How is Ghostbusters, by the way?
Bitching and complaining. I haven't seen it yet, but I hear great things.
Armored Skeptic did a review, and he said he enjoyed it. So. If that doesn't say something, it certainly does say something.
I don't know who that is, but I will respect his decision.
He's a harsh critic of ideologies, and he's a skeptic of the internet.
I hate skeptics.
Yeah, well,
they're no fun.
There's nothing wrong with being skeptical.
I don't know about that.
No, it's like I always have a thing about like people like doing reviews like who are just known for being negative all the time and hate everything ever, and just all they do is like just make fun of things and yell about things and stuff like that. Like he
doesn't do that though.
I know. I'm just saying in general. I don't like. I already said I don't know who this is, but in regarding like I know like that could be a popular thing. People like watching other people bash things,
Yeah. I mean, honestly, when I watch reviews, I'm more interested in what. Like most reviewers I watch break it down. Like, I like the cinematography, the editing was great, this was great, this was bad, this could have used some work. They're making comparisons via other movies. Like, film and all of the regulated, like what we call the arts, are very subjective, but you can call out certain techniques and things like that or timing and jokes and that kind of thing. So
that's why I always like listening to commentary, too from movies and stuff like that, because they'll talk about, they like say like, oh, why did they do that shot, or like what, like that was a criticism, and then in commentators and stuff, like they'll respond to those criticisms or just talk about those shots, if there's editing or what got cut, what stopped a character getting developed in a certain way. So it's like, that's like a cool, like, yeah, kind of an aftermath response.
Yeah.
Plus, sometimes they're funny.
Yeah, so I mean, sometimes,
Like, I remember the old Red vs. Blue commentaries were absolutely hilarious. It was like the podcast before the podcast.
Yeah.
That's really cool to think about.
And, it's always subjective, but then there are things like Birdemic where you're like, and it's just technically terrible.
It's gonna be crap. They're coming out with a Sharknado 4, by the way.
Or all those Sharknado movies, like.
Yeah, but
there's no art.
Terrible
art
to be
that.
terrible,
Remember what podcast was it when we just came up with a bunch of other like animal-related storms?
Oh man, that was.
That was fantastic.
That was a great podcast.
What is it, Tarantula Blizzard or something like that?
No, Tarantula...
Lizard Blizzard, something like that.
Lizard Blizzard. I remember Lizard Blizzard.
Yeah, Lizard Blizzard. I remember
somebody had a really good one with Volcano.
Oh, damn it.
Tarantula Tsunami. Sure?
Yeah, Tarantula Tsunami.
No, there was something that like all the really good ones rhymed. Anyway, if anybody listening to this podcast can do all of our own work for us and go find that podcast.
It's like episode, I think it's episode 1 something.
Yeah, episode 1 something.
I thought it was before
it's
the 100
it's
break.
Definitely, yeah, it's way before that.
It was
Sharknado 1 came out.
Probably.
We'll just look for that.
Probably Sharknado 2, I think. Sharknado 1's pretty old. But yeah.
You say it's legit?
What?
I thought you said Sharknado 1 is legit.
No, I said it's old.
And yet the graphics haven't changed in this list.
Can we talk about how one of the season's episode of RVB is a death battle? I really don't know how to feel about that. I mean, it's cross promotion.
Oh yeah,
so that kind of thing.
Okay, I was looking at, so it's the episode itself in RVB is going to be a death battle. Is that mean the meta is going to come back to life? Or because like the meta is the opponent, and I was so hyped when I saw that he was going to be in it because I thought he was a really powerful character, and I can only see the drawback to him being defeated is that his superpowers are very heavily reliant on literally power. And he has to charge himself up to use all that stuff, even with all that AI. And then his opponent's another character in RVB. That's really odd for death battles. Like, the only death battle that's had characters from the same iteration has been, like, the Pokemon one. But that doesn't quite count, because it's, like, the starter challenges, like, which one was better. But still, it's kind of an odd choice to feature, like, in-game battle, and I want to see.
Keep up with RVB to be fair.
I am very.
Yeah, I don't know what is going on in the story, which is like makes me want to go like, wait, how? Because ever since he did fall off the cliff or whatever in season 9, I've been like, is he gonna come back? Is his armor gonna come back? Like someone else takes it? Something about him coming back. Is he actually showing up again in this most recent season? Is it like Carolina somehow goes into a simulator?
Or is it just a simulation?
Yeah,
it's just
like
a simulation.
They have probably something like that. And I also want to know which direction the fight's going to go. And are they just going to play on the meta's going to be super strong until he runs out of power, and then somehow Carolina's just going to win?
Apparently, it's just an episode of Death Battle that's a part of the season. And I guess Used Pineapple said it is a compilation season, so maybe that's just how they just justify it. Honestly, on a business perspective, it makes sense because you want to try to cross platform and expose things as much as you can.
Yeah.
But at the same time,
they've done it with Ruby.
Narrative-wise... Yeah.
Like using the Yang character was a great idea. Like the fight one was pretty decent, and it was a good matchup for Tifa, which was essentially the same style, like fist combat.
The difference was it was a episode of Death Battle. It wasn't a episode of Red versus Blue.
Yeah, that's gonna be really odd because is the episode of RVB gonna be the Death Battle without their narration in the beginning, and then on Death Battle on the Screw Attack channel, are they gonna have it be the actual, boomstick, like going over what it's gonna, like going over each of the histories, which is gonna be really funny.
I don't know. It's like I've really fallen out of Rooster Teeth stuff in regards to their content. I'm gonna try to get into Camp and Day 5, and maybe I'll catch up on Rooster Teeth stuff. I don't know. I don't know.
It's not even if you wanted to watch it. Like for example, right now I'm watching a lot of different stuff, and I used to be like on top of everything, every single episode of Game Grumps, and it's not that I'm not watching that. There's just a lot of different content, and with Rooster Teeth spiderwebbing as it is, it's be hard if you like X out all the other YouTube channels. Just watching anything that's under the banner of Rooster Teeth at this point would be difficult.
It's like 6 or 7 hours of content. If
like
we include the Let's Plays in the podcast.
Funhouse, Let's Play podcast, all the different
off-topic,
shorts.
patch, all the shorts, the regular podcast, all the Let's Play stuff, the no. It's like, at the end of the day, that's like 4 or 5 hours, maybe 6 hours of stuff to watch when, like, there's currently a whole bunch of YouTubers that I really enjoy.
And it's also like one of the reasons they're so split up as it is like, just because you don't like the no branch of them doesn't mean you won't avidly watch Funhouse. Like, I really like what those guys do, and a lot of their stuff has made me laugh. And like, I was watching through their demo disc playlist, and I forget which one it was, but it ranked up there with like the hardest I've ever laughed when watching something like that. Like kind of similar to how funny the Palpatine meme joke that happened in the Donkey Kong episode of Game Grumps forever ago. Like, there's just certain things that click really well.
Yeah. So I had to walk away for a second. You're talking about Funhouse, right?
Yeah, well, we're just talking about how we haven't watched any of the recent Rooster Teeth stuff. Like, there's like 6 or 7 hours of it. I've been mostly watching Funhouse.
I haven't stopped. I stopped in the middle of the Red versus Blue. Like, I don't remember which season it was, but just after them doing something with the robot, and it's like, I think the robot's going to explode, the Freckles bot, and I know they've gotten a lot farther past it. I haven't seen Ruby season 2. I've only seen the season 1.
Oh yeah, I watched Ruby. Ruby's good. Season 2 is pretty good. I don't spoil anything, but yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah. I'll have to get in. I don't know. There's a lot of anime that I watch too. Like, I have like 6 or 7 anime shows that I watch, and then I watch YouTube, and then if there's any time, which there will be, because all that stuff I do on my personal off time, everything else I devote to editing and making and writing and that kind of thing.
Speaking of anime,
that recently,
I've been watching an anime that, when you watch a certain shows and you just feel bad about yourself. I had that feeling when I watched Monster Musume, where I'm like, oh, if only I could just have a gun in my mouth right now. I've been watching Fate Prisma Ilia, Fate Clanide Lena Prisma Ilia. Long name. Yeah, I'm like, fuck, why do I like this? I shouldn't like this weird spin-off show where one of the side characters is a magical girl and everyone's just weird, and I'm just, yeah.
It's because you're weeaboo scum.
Yeah.
You're weeaboo trash.
Yeah,
you need
I guess.
Accept the part of you and move on with your life.
I guess. Yeah, I guess I do.
I mean, I don't know if you have the time, or if you I don't know. I'm just really very ADD sometimes. I'm very in the moment. Like, whatever I'm watching, and I'm watching all of it as much as I can.
I do like to complete, like, that's why I went through the entire playlist of demo disc before going on to other stuff, is just to be like, I like to watch, I like to go through all of it, all of a certain thing, which makes things like comic books and like that kind of area a lot harder for me to get into, because if I like something, then I'd usually like to go into other things, but a lot of things like comics aren't very clearly defined, like this is what it is, because like not only has it been redone, but there's been side stories, spin-offs, all sorts of like question mark branches.
I'm not like, I try not to, like, I just watch whatever is recent. And, like, I try not to, like, if it's really good and it's not too old when it comes to YouTube production value-wise, I'll watch all of it in one playlist. But other times, it's just, like, I just want to watch the most current episode of whatever.
Yeah, Cass, never get into Gundam, then. Never, ever get into Gundam.
Oh, geez. I have heard there's, like, a bunch of buttload of different names. Like, I don't know. Like, I definitely would want to give something like that a chance, but, like, like, unless it's really good, it's harder for me to watch the older production animes.
Stories. I mean, the older Gundams are good, but, you know, they're not modern quality. Like, it's kind of like, do you recommend 2001: A Space Odyssey to people? Yes or no? Because it is a technically good movie, and it's very forward for the time, but is it an entertaining movie? You know what I mean? It's one of those things where it's like, this is groundbreaking for the time, and this is like the father of the genre, but is it entertaining? And that's why I don't like recommend like animes like Neon Genesis to people, because I'm like, yes, this was very groundbreaking at the time. You might not enjoy it though. You know what I mean?
I agree. Like, there's things you can appreciate for the time. Like, I don't ever see myself watching any of like the old Hitchcock movies unless I'm watching it with my friends, or it's like, I don't know, like the really, really old film classics. It's like really tough for me to get into that.
Very good movie, or technically good movie, and groundbreaking for the time, and very weird, but entertaining? You know, it's one of those things where it's like, do you want to assign someone movie homework, or do you want to give them a movie recommendation?
Yeah.
That's why I typically don't recommend like Gundam 79 or Gundam Zeta, because they are very forward-thinking and very cool for the time. But will this person be entertained? You know, I don't know.
It's kind of like how I don't know if it's the same level of like difference, but like the older Hellsing anime was like, oh, it's pretty good, and I don't know if I would have liked it as much if I hadn't seen Ultimate first, like if that was my introduction to the series. Right. But I really liked it as a story. Like it felt like I felt more satisfied with it than I did at the end of Ultimate. And like, even though it did a lot of different stuff, it did them well.
Yeah.
Like separate from the books, I mean.
Yeah, that's why I had you watch Stardust Crusaders before the first two arcs of JoJo, because Stardust Crusaders is very entertaining and cheesy and amusing, but the first two arcs, while they set up the story, they're just okay.
They're good. What are you on about?
They might. I'll judge it for myself. I'll go back and watch them because I like it enough. But a lot of the reasons I like JoJo as it is like partly because of how much the best friends like reference it and had watched it before, and now that I'm watching it here, like I really like the ridiculous level that it's gotten to for Stardust Crusaders. Like I've stopped. Like I've done that with a couple different things. Like I started with Mass Effect 3, and then went back to 1 and 2, and I started with like one of my favorite RPG series, Xenosaga 3, and I liked it enough to go back to 1 and then 2. So sometimes, like not all the time, and probably maybe not even with JoJo, and like I'll watch this season to kind of take a better look at that, but. in certain occasions, it does seem a little better to like start it off a little smoother, because there is a couple things where like it's a really good anime or a really good TV show. You just have to last past the first 2 episodes. And I've heard that with a lot of even really good things. It's like you have to get past, like sometimes things just have a slow start. And it's not really a detriment to the show. It's just the thing that pulls you in, or pulls a certain percentage of the audience in, rather, might not appear right away.
It appears right away. It's just Wubs is crazy. And totally in JoJo. It's great from the beginning. From the first two episodes. I'm like, all right, I'm in.
Okay, there are some good goofy moments in the first episode. There are some great. But
it's just your personal preference.
Does he still go, oh my?
No, because it's his father. It's his father. So it's 1800s. JoJo.
Okay.
Yeah, there are some funny moments. I will agree.
There are some great moments.
I don't know. You don't really get
you don't get the gravitas of who Dio is and how powerful he is.
Yeah, that's true.
From Crusaders, you don't get to enjoy that moment.
They were even talking about that on their podcast, like how it's just like, okay, the only reason that you have about going after Dio is because of the person is going to die otherwise. But that doesn't necessarily villainize Dio. It just makes him a necessary target for her survival.
And yeah, that's why I had you watch Saturday, because it's more entertaining, but you do need the first 2 arcs to sort of set up some of that stuff. And listen, Zach, I'm not saying that the first 2 arcs aren't entertaining in their own way. They're just not as much as Stardust Crusaders. Like, Stardust Crusaders hit that pace.
They're just a different type. No, it's just a different type.
Stardust Crusaders hit that pace.
I'll see if we can see I'll see which side, like if it's the same or if it's different or not as much. I'll see.
Kono Dio down. Like, that was a great line that I didn't really appreciate when I saw it the first time, because I didn't know what JoJo was like. I didn't know it was goofy or anything like that. But then knowing that it's goofy and memes and a meme factory, going back and having like, but it was me, Dio, is like a really good line from the first arc.
Well, I don't know. I could immediately tell it was trying to be goofy. I guess I just picked up on it sooner. I don't know.
It felt weird to me watching it without knowing that it's supposed to be a goofy show.
I didn't do any research or like research into manga or anything like that. I just watched the show. I'm like, okay, this is obviously self-aware goofiness.
I don't know. I didn't get that when I first watched it, but maybe going back and watching the first 2 arcs, I will pick up on that.
And you could appreciate it more.
Exactly. That's why I have people start at Stardust Crusaders. So I'm like, okay, so you see the point of the show? Now go back to the beginning, and you'll with that same perspective.
I still feel like you'll enjoy it just as much, if not more.
That's why if I ever try to get someone into Gundam, I would have them watch Gundam Thunderbolt, because the movie, I'm like, look, these are all the tropes condensed from the show and all the themes. All right, you like these themes? Okay, go watch Unicorn. Okay, you liked that? Go even further back to 79. Okay, you like that? Zeta, I guess. Okay, you like that?
You like that? You want to watch Gundam Seed?
Or don't.
The best of the Gundams.
Gundam Seed?
Or G Gundam.
Does it have Big Sam?
Big Sam.
Oh, guys, I'm not dead, by the way.
Oh, that's good. We just assumed that you weren't talking for whatever reason, so we went on with the show without a hitch.
No, my internet's being a giant dick.
Interesting.
So, yeah.
I'm sorry to hear that. Tara and James are also having shitty internet issues as well, apparently. So.
Hi, Tara and James. Yeah. Thank you for watching the podcast tonight.
We appreciate it loads.
So, screw everybody watching this. Just recap for me everything we've been talking about.
Anime.
No, I'm just kidding.
JoJo.
Nani?
Well, I mean, before I got cut out, you guys were talking about Red vs. Blue, and I was going to ask how you guys thought of the new season so far.
We haven't seen it.
I haven't even seen the previous, at least 1.5, Xing this season out. I don't even think I've seen the previous 1.5 seasons, because the season we were watching at the time, me and Ray, we didn't even see it through to the finale, I don't think.
Are you just not really caring for it, or just didn't get around to it?
semi both. I was super hyped and on board with the Freelancer arc, and once the meta fell and once the story had been wrapped up again, the second arc was, it's not that it was a bad arc, it just wasn't as polling at the time, and then for whatever reason we just kind of were watching other things, and now I haven't gone back to it.
That first season after Freelancer was a bit awkward, but then I thought they kind of found their groove. It got I thought season 12 was really fucking funny, and 13 was really funny too. So it wasn't as actiony, and I actually preferred that. So
I miss the jank of the earlier seasons. I think that's why I stopped watching RBB, because it got to that point where it was like, oh, this is awesome, and it's like, yeah, this is still awesome, and then you're like, all right. I get it. It's cool.
I like the way they were telling the story, and I do think it's fair. Not everything has to be big epic scenes. I do like how they have in season 9. I thought was a really good balance between silly, normal talking and flashing in between.
I think most people think season 9 was probably their weakest season.
Which one was season 9?
Season 9, I've watched
the first season of the Freelancers.
Yeah, I've watched a lot of times because I felt like the story pacing was done really well. One episode would be
I liked the
Freelancer action,
the normal
and
guys.
then it would be back at church, and then it would echo the last thing church says, and then boom, back in the Freelancer. And they would have a couple chunks where it would just be the silly thing that they were trying to figure out, and then it would be back.
I think more people were annoyed that, the animation, the storytelling. I mean, you guys liked it, so I'm not gonna bash it or anything like that. But it will ultimately anything to do with the actual blues and reds and blues. It was nothing. Nothing actually mattered or happened for them. So it was just a church story that was kind of amounted to nothing. And then
it was just world expansion.
I guess they were still finding their feet with some of the Freelancer stuff, and there was definitely a lot of awesome stuff in it. But I thought season 10, when they found their feet with that, was a billion times better.
Yeah,
and especially when they got back to the normal reds and blues.
That was another really good version of the balancing. Especially as it closed the arc on even the director himself. That was really well done.
I think 10 did everything 9 was trying to do,
Yeah, I know 9 wasn't perfect. Even in 10 had some pretty hype animation moments, especially following my favorite character. He got words, and that was a big deal. He said 4 words in the series?
The meta?
Yeah.
He growled a little bit. He growled a few times.
No, as main, he did say 3 words at least, I believe.
What were his words? I don't remember his words.
He said thanks to Carolina once, and he said get off me or something during the trade. It was 2 very specific, very small things, but they're the only words you really hear him say before it gets to the part of the story where he's becoming the meta already.
Mm-hmm. And the one thing, a criticism I have for that, Sigma was really underwhelming.
Really?
What?
I thought he was incredible. He just didn't come off as he was sinister, but I don't know. He just the end result just wasn't as
he wasn't. It was just underwhelming. The goal wasn't for him to be, because he's not the evil personality. He is creativity. Just pure creativity and
ambition.
Ambition. That's what I mean. That in and of itself isn't bad, and his goal itself is still not bad, even though his the means to get to the goal is very questionable. But the actual goal of just bringing them together is not bad. They were tortured till they were separated anyway. So bringing them back together was kind of the main goal that he was just trying to do, fix the AI, make it perfect. And the goal just kind of got corrupted, and Maine got essentially brainwashed, and then he had the whole throat injury, so where the few words that he was already saying couldn't be said anymore.
Basically. Oh boy, red versus blue. It's still, this talk is still not rekindling any interest. I don't know why.
Well, not to go like see the thing is, the freelancer arc, the arc that I was super hyped about, and I still would go back and rewatch those seasons. It's still different, and like I haven't necessarily seen the whole thing, but it's not the same arc that's currently going on. Like it's
different. I know it's different.
It's a separate like entity at this point, especially because of the people behind the production have changed and a lot of different things.
Yeah, very true. I don't know. It's just like I've been really into current season anime like Berserk, JoJo. I just watched 91 Days.
I want to see the rest of JoJo.
The newest JoJo's great.
I know. I want to see it now because like I didn't realize it was like this much of a silly hype meme machine as it is, and also a pretty decent story.
The newest episode of JoJo, no spoilers, has a sniper battle with a literal rat, and it still makes sense and it's hype.
Yeah, it's so good. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is great.
I like the quote that Matt says, like, "Is that?" I'm just gonna stop there. It's like, what season?
Yeah,
that's probably happened. They were referencing Legend of Zelda, how they were talking about the claw shot, and is there an enemy in JoJo that essentially can do, or not an enemy, but is there someone in JoJo that can do the same thing?
Probably,
which is like shoot out grappling hooks, is how they described it. And it's like, yeah, it's somewhere in there.
Isn't that Hermit Purple's ability?
They said it was someone. They said it sounded like it was someone from season 6.
I mean, maybe, but still, a Hermit Purple can still do that.
So, yeah, Hermit Purple can grab things. You're not wrong, but that's not its main ability, I guess.
Its main ability is to look into cameras and take spirit photos.
Yeah,
it takes spirit poses. Like the first few times you see it, he's just doing this like backwards pose.
Oh yeah, that's something that I have grown to appreciate from the first 2 arcs as well. Going back to that, is poses. JoJo's pose game is on point.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I've watched a lot of stuff that's from the current season. ReZero is so good. Oh, if I could recommend ReZero, I would recommend it highly. I can't recommend it enough. It's so good. And it still has like 7 or 8, maybe. No, what was it? It's on episode 16, and it has 25 episodes before it takes a hiatus. So please watch it. It's great.
Yeah.
I can't recommend it enough.
I'll be there eventually.
I mean, if you can ever get time to finish the other one, like we can focus on something like that for the next
Cowboy
like
Bebop?
altogether anime.
Yeah, we should probably finish Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah.
Also, don't be afraid to go to Crunchyroll and watch things independently.
It's not that I'm afraid to. I just enjoy things more when I can watch them with someone. I'm more inclined to like want to watch it because there's someone else there.
Watch Prisma Ilia and then go and watch.
There's a few things like if it was like a really serious or like sad toned thing, like Kokoro Connect's a good example of an anime that was like a really like actually deep story once you got past the like gimmicky first episode, which was the point of the whole thing. It was like, oh, this is a silly thing. Oh, okay, it's actually a serious matter.
If you liked Kokoro Connect, you will probably like Kiznaiver. From everything I've heard, I haven't actually seen it yet.
Kiznaiver, why haven't you seen Kiznaiver?
Because I'm watching Magical Girl anime, Zach. That's why.
You can skip. You can okay. You can watch. You can spend a few hours watching different anime. You can watch different episode of each anime for 3 or 4 hours and just alternate.
You have more time than I do.
I guess. I just watch stuff on my days off. I get a guaranteed Monday off, which is amazing, and then
are you still focusing? Well, are you still like on not your own schedule right now?
Yes, 25th I test, and I will become independent, assuming I pass that test.
You'll probably pass.
Yeah, like right now he's on a hyper
and then I can go to
schedule,
and then I'll be free.
Then I'll be free. I suppose so. I don't know. Even when I was working full time at a call center, I had plenty of time to watch anime while on call.
I also play games and video games. So it's like I have to balance a lot of things. I have to balance Overwatch, League, anime,
job,
work.
food.
Yeah. Occasionally going outside to catch Pokemon.
Well, we're gonna do the Pathfinder soon. My character is an archer, and I wish there was like a D&D ability to do Hanzo Dragon Blast.
Hidoteki Secret, whatever.
I also separately want to learn how to pronounce that properly and quickly, because that would just make me smile. I just love all the like they did the characters well enough to where even though like the cowboy is just saying the kind of the normal cowboy thing, so it works, and it's become a meme for that reason.
The new character in Overwatch came out, Ana.
Yeah, I saw
sniper.
I saw one where that she was like sniping Pharah.
Yeah, she's
like in place of Mercy. Like Mercy's like why?
Yeah.
Oh, the comic.
Yeah. The character is Pharah's mom. So that's a couple comments where
it was like I have Mercy here. It was like no, she's like sniping, killing bullets from afar.
Yeah,
that's a really, really clever ability.
Yeah, I've seen a few comics where it's like child Pharah. She's like, I have an owie on my arm, and the mom's like, where? Like pointing the gun at Pharah. Yeah, it's weird because I'm used to like Mercy and Lucio who you heal without having to aim, if that's a good way of putting it. And it's always the worst being like, okay, I'm gonna heal this person. Oh, he's ran out of the corner. Fuck, like come back, and then you run after them and you get shot in the face.
I've got you in my. What's her ult?
It is damage boosts. It's kind of like you make someone get higher resistances and more damage for a bit. It's basically Uber mode.
It's just a buff.
Yeah,
it's just a buff.
And then you have your sleep dart, where you just shoot someone and they fall asleep. That's pretty neat. I have a grenade that heals, which is kind of my own.
Why? I'm just like back to RVB. It just reminds me.
I was gonna think it reminds me of the Borderlands Roland. You could kit him out that way, where your bullets heal and your grenades heal.
Sarge is like going on a rant about a gun that shoots healing salve that cures all wounds.
Yeah.
He's trying to point at the grip.
Also, it's Ryuga Waga Teki wo Kurarao.
No Corral.
Wo Corral.
Like that's such
something about Korean barbecue.
It's such a cool thing, and I don't know.
See, you need to watch Unlimited Blade Works, because then you'll be thinking of other quotes to say when you're firing an arrow, like the bone.
People die when they are killed.
People die when they are killed. Exactly. People die.
I've got you in my sights.
Freaking edgelord. So it's about that time.
Yes, we have to go play Pathfinder.
Yeah, that too. So we're going to wrap up the podcast like 2 or 3 minutes early. Thank you guys so much for watching and listening. I greatly appreciate that. We greatly appreciate you guys stopping by and listening to the live stream. www.theforumthread.twitch.tv. And you can find us on YouTube at the TFT Productions. You can find us on Facebook at the Forum Thread Podcast and iTunes at the Forum Thread Podcast. And be sure to check out our Twitter at the Forum Thread. Also, new announcement in regards to pimping something. I'm making a podcast on my personal channel called the Virtual Roundtable Podcast. We'll be talking about all kinds of banter stuff. We'll talk about serious things or just anime that I want to talk about that isn't finished.
Am I invited?
That kind of thing. Yeah, everyone's invited.
Oh. I don't want to go anymore if everyone's invited.
Okay, everyone except for OneWave is invited.
Sounds like low standards to me.
All right, see you guys same time next week.
Bye.